All right, welcome to another XROADZ podcast with Tatt2Femm.
So that's me.
Yo, what's up? Yeah, it's I haven't seen you for a while in the real world. I think the last
I
time
know.
was we're like golfing,
Oh yeah,
disc
we were
golf.
falling.
Uh,
Yeah, I had my daughter. She was on that backpack.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was a trek. I've done that with my son, and I was like, dang, that is a workout.
it really is, and she loves it, so I love it too. And
Well, you
it's
carried her
one of our.
around for 9 months in the womb. I'm like, dang, that's work in
Yeah,
itself.
that's true. That's very true. And the whole time I was pregnant, I was working a paper route, and then I was working the whole
Mm,
time. Yeah,
paper route
so
too. That I had a paper route. It was like one of my first real jobs.
yeah.
But it wasn't like the early morning paper route. And man, that's a tough gig too, because you're walking around so much.
Right. Yeah, I had this I was able to use this uh, charger, and so it just got me to the places really fast. Just like zoom zoom zoom, and nobody's
Nice,
out at that time, and I was able to just do my route. I think I clocked it in 24 minutes once. It was funny. I try
nice.
to beat my time. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
hmm
Oh man. Well, how is it with the new babe now?
Life's nice. Life's cool. She's so much fun. She's so smart, and I mean, it's never a dull moment. And I feel like it's obviously a blessing in disguise, but also
Hmm.
it's just a whole nother life. Before just not having any kind of responsibilities, it's a lot of responsibility, but it's very rewarding at the same time.
Yeah, true that. I mean, yeah, kids definitely change your life. Although, I've gone through with having kids. Still, I'd be like wild and partying and going out and living, and then being like, oh, whoa, whoa, I need to
Simmer
change it
down.
up. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that
You know,
happened to me. So I've been 19 months sober now, and
nice.
yeah, the longest I've
Congratulations.
ever been. Thank you. I've never been this sober in my life, and
I bet it feels
it's a
great.
totally different, yeah, totally different world. I've raised my vibration so high that I can't even imagine myself lowering that for anything, as in drugs or
Hmm.
alcohol. And the natural things that I feel now, and allowing myself to go through those motions and actually um, feel naturally high on the things that I do is amazing. I couldn't. The other day I was so I'm an active member of AA, and so the other day
Hmm.
I finished the step, and I was talking to my brother, and I'm like, I'm just gonna pace, dude, because I don't know what else to do. I feel so high right now naturally
Right?
that I just
Yeah.
was pacing. I was pacing, and little aspects of my life every day. I wake up like that, and every day there's little nuggets in my life that I'm allowed to just feel that no guilt, no shame come with it. Once you get off of that natural high, it's just an amazing feeling, and I wouldn't change that for the world. No way.
Yeah, it's crazy how, well, I haven't been drinking alcohol or using like other drugs or anything. I have had some ganja, which is one thing I'm still trying to kind of wrestle with, where I'm like, I actually do want to stop this too. You know,
Right.
I go through phases, but the alcohol was definitely a problem.
Right.
And it's been like, oh, wait, actually, today is 5 months that I haven't been
Yay, good
drinking alcohol.
job.
Hey, thanks. I have never gone to
Congratulations.
AA, but I've thought that I probably should do that eventually, just because I definitely am an alcoholic.
Right. Right.
And I know I totally agree with you. Just after 5 months, even just like my mind and body, like you say, man, I'm just like, I don't really want to get fucked up like I used to.
Right.
Like, and then I was just in it for so long. Like you say, you haven't been sober like this in so
Ever.
long. So how long was it that you were out just like living, partying,
From
or
the
just
age of
getting
19 till the
intoxicated?
age of 34.
So like, what is that? Like over a decade? Like
Yeah,
12 years,
over that.
15 years or something?
Yeah. Yeah. And I
I
was
feel
always
that.
processing with something. I was always putting something else for another thing. And when I
Mm,
completely stopped everything, I realized, oh, I started cross addicting with food, and then I would start cross
Mm.
addicting with shopping and spending money because my brother said, well, how do you celebrate the things now? And I was
Mm.
like, oh yeah, that makes sense because usually if we celebrate, we're going to drink, or if we celebrate, we're going to shop, or we're going to eat. And so those things all came together, and being able to execute a plan without that in my life has allowed me to just naturally feel the raise in my own vibration.
Dude, that
And
song you sent me, the cipher.
that's my new vibe. What do you
Dude, I was
think?
like, whoa, man.
Who is
The I
this?
am source energy. I was like, dude, whoa.
I know.
She's on that
That's
wavelength.
me. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
on that wavelength.
yeah, and
Um,
it's cool to see, um, because, well, let's see, how long have we known each other? Maybe 5 years or
5 years,
something?
6 years. It's been a
Something like that.
minute.
I met you just through music, through your
But
singing and rapping.
right.
Yeah, you'd come through the studio back when I was living in Helena.
Okay. Okay. You're no longer in Helena, I'm guessing.
I'm just outside in Montana City,
Oh, cool.
but it's
Nice.
Helena area.
Yeah.
I will be possibly moving back into Helena area. Um, but yeah, I'll always be in this area. What even
Yeah.
brought you to Helena? Cause are you from California?
I'm from Los Angeles, the San Fernando Valley,
Oh, you're
and
from LA area, huh?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
dang.
the
No
A1
wonder. I
Valley,
was like,
right? This girl
like,
has way too much swag to
I
be
was like,
here.
dude,
She was.
yeah. I was like, dude, this chick's tough. Like, watch out.
That's funny. Yeah, I like to tell people I'm 5'2", but I walk in 6 foot. So
Yeah,
just
that's
so
for sure.
that's just a general idea about myself. But I came here in 2007, and I was homeless and on drugs for 2 years out there, and I
Mm-hmm.
just couldn't do it anymore. My little sister, she moved away from gangs, and she moved out here, and she
Mm-hmm.
told me that it was a good place to start your life over again. So the day that I decided to move here, I had an ultimatum. I was either gonna go to Ventura County and talk to the judge and turn myself in so I can get into a sober living house, or
Mm-hmm.
I had a ticket waiting for me at the Greyhound. Needless to say,
Mm.
I took the ticket and
Right,
I
yeah.
came to Helena, and the whole time I was here was
I've done
thinking,
that
oh my,
before too, where it's like, maybe I'll just
mm,
bounce and
I'm just gonna
start over.
bounce.
I'll take care
Yeah,
of this
and I
later.
did. Yeah, yeah. Montana has saved my life multiple times, and the difference about now in my sobriety and then is that I've actually been doing the internal work. I've actually been working on my traumas and healing
Mm.
those things. When people ask me who I am now, I say I'm a Blaxican queen here to break generational curses. Like that's what I've been doing this whole time.
True
Every
that.
time yeah, and I've just been every obstacle that's come to me, I've been able to break some kind of barrier that my ancestors haven't been able to do before.
Hmm.
When it comes
Sobriety
to
is, for me, that's
yeah,
probably the biggest one because that's like my generational curse I have to break. Where I'm like, look,
right,
after having kids, I was like, I don't really want to pass this on to them. Like
right,
my wild party animal ways where I might wake up dead or what, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's like
exactly.
after having kids, it just, I mean, it's a slow change, but I mean, I'm super stoked to see you go through the changes too because it inspires me and motivates me to, stay on a good path
Yeah,
because it's, you know, like you say, you don't really want to make those sacrifices of like, oh, to get high on this or that or to get drunk. It could lead you, that one time. I was just talking to my friend last night on another one of these about how those one small changes you make do lead to like big results eventually.
they really do. And what's happened in this last little bit over a year now, um, like I got out of jail, and I lost my daughter for 3 months, and all these things started piling up. Well, I just kind of hit the ground running, and I just started manifesting all these things. I was at the YWCA for here in Helena for a little bit, and
Mhm.
now my daughter and I have our own apartment. I got a new car. I have I have a
Nice.
career. Um, and the career is as a peer support for addiction, so I could share my story. And my resume has to say addict and has to have a criminal record on it in order for me to get letters behind my name. And that's just
Oh yeah,
it. Yeah, I can now just share my story and tell people how I did it, or give them advice, or no.
because you can
um
understand
you
too
can
what it's
understand.
like to be in those shoes of somebody that's
Right.
going through it and they're trying to. Because for me, obviously, I get lost in the sauce. I'm like, I love to party.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. But then at the same time, in the back of my mind, I'd also kind of be like, I don't want to do this. Like, I do want to get out of this situation, but at the same time, I would wrestle with that. Like, whatever, like your angel and demon on your shoulder, you know.
All the time, all the time. We're just trying to fill that void with something, because we don't know why we're trying to fill that void. And that's where the digging deeper and the inner healing comes into play. And you
Mm-hmm.
realize, oh well, that's what it is. I'm a control freak. I have fear of success and fear of failure at the
I,
same time.
ooh,
I have
amen
this
to that. Yeah.
root this deep rooted, and I didn't realize this until I went back to California and went to a funeral for my stepdad. And I
Mm.
didn't realize that I had this deep rooted criminal mind, that no matter what, I it could fuck the drugs, fuck all that. It was the life, it was the money, it was the power that I was addicted to.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that when I was in Cali, and doing all this inner work, because one thing just keeps, you just peel back those layers of the
Oh
onion.
yeah, and you
And
kind of identify with it, sort of like you're. It becomes like, especially as an artist.
right,
For me personally, it's like you start to identify with this like persona
right,
too of like, or this is who I am, or who I kind of wanted to make myself into, or to become this
right,
person, and then sometimes you become like, I, I don't know, you can just become a slave to something that ends up controlling you, where it's like, yeah, I'm a control freak too, but
yeah.
then I would lose control to these things, and they were controlling me, and I was like, fuck, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just trained at a young age, and I never thought I was going to be more than just a drug dealer, and that was it. And now I see that it was all the training that I thought was going to put me in the game, and with the training that that was needed for me to be a peer support
Right,
specialist.
yeah.
um and so, it's all lessons learned, and it's all for a good reason, and I made it out alive, so that's great. But it's really, you do start to wear a mask, and you do start to believe you're that person, no matter what. And it all just bases on, you know the trauma. It's all
Yeah,
trauma.
oh, for sure. And of course, I feel like everybody has it. Like everybody has some sort of form of childhood trauma or whatever.
Right,
I don't think it'd be pretty rare if somebody didn't have it in
right.
some form or another. But yeah, so with your music now, since
Mm-hmm.
you've changed like your lifestyle,
Right.
which props to you. I'm super glad to see it because honestly, I didn't ever actually think that. I mean, I never thought about myself either,
Right.
of being like, yeah, I'm gonna be like promoting, how sobriety is good for you.
Right. And it's because people didn't like to talk about it, but there's a movement coming, and that movement is to bring it out, and to talk about it, because the more you don't talk about it, you know how something festers in your mind, and it just continues to build and build and build. Well,
Hmm.
that's how addiction is, and that's what we need to bring to light, is that you can talk about it. There is no shame with it. There's a reason for it, and we can talk about it. So what is it? Let's dig.
Dude, that's all. So with the peer support as a career, do you do it like out of a facility or something,
So
or you
I'm like,
just?
I'll be licensed through the state,
Hmm.
and you can be independent peer support. and you can work through different agencies. An organization just picked me up and gave me a job offer after my training, and um, you every place is about to have peer support. It's really blowing up right now, and
That's awesome.
yeah, especially lots of treatment facilities. I've been doing jail diversion. I've been helping the people that are inmates get boxes checked before they get out, to actually
Hmm.
and it's really just to be with lived experience and to be what you needed at that time of your crisis of your addiction.
Mm-hmm.
um, and So yeah, you can go to organizations, they all have peer support, and it's really blowing up right now.
Nice. Well, I
Hmm.
have this new project I'm working on. Well, with this Crossroads podcast, it's one project I'm working on.
Hmm.
So I've been rebranding kind of with this Crossroads, and I have a goal to one day. I'm making the business plan for like a nonprofit social enterprise of a Crossroads community center that we
Cool.
could, do all this SOULFIRE, the studios and all that, and a good place for people to hang out. But I want to get into that lane where we could have our venue for shows and
Right.
everything like that. But it makes me think of you with your peer support, because I'm like, I want to be doing stuff like that out of there too, where it's like, hey man, nowadays I've lived that wild, crazy party life, and I'm just, changing my ways and trying to work with the people in the community that are on that same wavelength.
Right. And music is an outlet to have that creative part of sobriety is a major aspect of success. There's
Yeah,
bliss.
and well, that's what I was kind of asking earlier was like with your music nowadays, it's probably different, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Because, I
yeah.
remember shooting that music video with you. Uh, oh, what was it?
Talk of the town.
Yeah, Talk of the Town, and then we did that other one too.
Oh, hustle
Money.
plus control equals power.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a great one too, because you were just talking about how that's just kind of that persona you lived was that hustle plus control equals power.
Power. Yeah.
Yeah,
How I
and
was.
and we were just going out to the bars and like tequila and
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
we were at the cop shop and like
Yeah.
pretty much like you're like dancing on cars pretty much like with cops
Yeah.
right there. It's like,
I was
huh.
making a mockery of cops
Yeah.
and the life and just how free that life was. When really at the end of that track, the hustle plus control equals power, it really emphasized on how much control the alcohol and the life
Mm,
had on me. There was no going back. There was at that point in time. I mean, even in those videos, when I look back, I could just, there wasn't me. I can't see myself in those eyes. I wasn't there at all.
right. Yeah. Yeah. You had the shades on in
Yeah.
the bathroom mirror and yeah, and I was right there too, just like in the I don't know, you know how it is when you look back on life and you try to make sense of like why did I do the things I did, and like you say now I don't know, I
It
really
makes
believe
sense.
in you and
Thank
what
you.
you're going to be able to do now as far as like cuz you had a strong influence on people.
I
You
did.
always have,
I
and
did. Yeah.
now your influence is going to be
Totally different.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
it's
remember when
cool.
I'd come out with the songs and people who were still actively using, they were really inspired and say, you're speaking the things that we can't speak, and you're saying we can relate in that way in the life and addiction and in feeling lost like that, um and not really lost, but feeling like that is the way we're supposed to be. And now I feel like I'm pulling those people out of that life, and they can see how you can switch, you could totally turn it around. And being
Mhm.
an inspiration in a different way is amazing. A lot of people reach out to me all the time, like your inspiration, or they want support. How did you do it? Or they don't feel shame when they reach out to me. They don't feel like, and they know
Right.
the same respect I brought to the game and the life and my addiction is the same respect I'm bringing to peer support, and it's not going to change. I still respect the rules, but instead we're gonna switch it up and have empowerment and growth through that, instead of shame and guilt. It's totally different.
Dang, that is so rad.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. Yeah, cause cause I've seen you go through some phases, and
Right.
and I've only known you like we said, like 5 years or something,
Hmm.
and a lot can happen in that amount of time, and now you said it's been what, 19 months?
Yeah, 19 months,
So that's like a year and a half.
a year and a half. Yeah, yeah.
Dang.
I know it.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Well, I hear people say that, oh, there's like 5% of alcoholics or addicts, actually are able to like stick with it or something,
Maintain. Yeah.
maintain.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm above maintaining now. I feel like I've done some major work, um, and it's all internal work. And I've done.
Mm.
Um, my therapist thinks I'm crazy for doing half of the stuff I do, but when I who doesn't, but when I am presented with a problem or a block, like the I-15, the I-15 and I, we have this thing, and I've been on that road. I've been arrested on that road many a times, and this last time I went to California for that show, I took the same route, and as soon as I was triggered, things were popping up, I would get out my talk to text and I would just start processing right there. I would just start talking it out and processing it and allowing myself to feel those feelings. Feeling it, I give it a color. I allow that to go through me, and then I release it. I let go of those things instead of holding on to it, which is that void that we're trying to stuff. We're just going to hold on to all these resentments.
Hmm.
And I would just put myself in the trauma in order to process it. And it's a lot of
Right.
process.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But that's the transformation.
That's the
That's
transformation.
when you can go through it. And like you say, going back on that, out on the interstate,
Yeah, on the
traveling that
interstate.
same stretch that you've traveled so many times,
Hmm.
maybe like whiling out, you know.
Every time
Yeah.
while I'm out, I was
Yeah, for
definitely
sure.
doing illegal things, allegedly illegal things on that
Riding
road.
dirty. Yeah.
Yeah, every time. And the last time I took it, I was being really reckless with my daughter. And so this trip that I took with my daughter, we were able to make new memories. I was able to transform our relationship through that. Even though she was only, really young, five
Hmm.
months, it still made a difference now. And we were able to heal that trauma together. Even though she was really little, I know that she felt my energy going through her while I was not in the right state of mind on the way back, and so I was able to. Um, we were able to transform that trauma into something other than that, the last memory we had on that road. On the way back, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was. I was like, whoa, look at how much beauty is in the world. I never
Right?
noticed it. I was too
The
busy doing my
natural.
makeup or doing drugs on the way there, that I never took the time to even enjoy or appreciate the natural beauty that came just from that drive. It was amazing.
Right?
It's a whole different world once your eyes are clear.
I'm so stoked to hear it. And I think that this podcast, this is my 33rd one.
Good
So,
job. I'm so proud of you, dude. I'm
yeah.
so I'm so proud of you. All your growth. I have seen it
Oh,
too.
thank you.
I commend you for sticking to it and just being you. I've always respected you for being you, and people sleep on you, and I'm just like, no, I'm gonna stick with Jake, dude.
Ah,
He's got
hey, yeah, that's
it.
cool. Yeah, thanks for that. It's cool that, as I'm making these personal changes, obviously I try to like connect with people. The whole goal is to connect with like-minded people and people on the same wavelength. So I'm super stoked to hear that, when we were working together in the past, and then we'd go through all these different changes in life, all this just
Right.
life happens, and that, we were able to come through now and be like, yeah, we're still on like same path, you
Right.
know. And
Yeah.
I'd imagine you still have the same passions and goals. So, like, do you have any plans or goals with your music nowadays with Tatt2Femm?
I've been working on lots of collaborations. So I've been wanting to do lots of collaborations. Not until the Cipher track did I find my vibe. I have been actually not been able to write that well. I've been battling on who I am on paper and who I am now when I as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not a fake person. So for me to come and have this person through my lyrics that isn't me is just never felt right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a girl who talks about sex or my body or anything like that. I want to talk about real life shit that's going on, and I just didn't know what to do. I didn't want to talk about my past anymore. I didn't want to talk about drug dealing or making money or power and bitches
Right.
and blah. I
If you're
wanted
not
to
trying to live that life anymore,
not trying to
then
live my life anymore.
yeah, then it's just like, yeah, switching it up. And
Yeah, I was
on
switching it up, and I appreciate the opportunity to do that cipher because it really helped me expand and find what I wanted to be and who I wanted to be through my lyrics. So it was a push. It was a push forward.
awesome. It
Yeah,
was definitely had I mean, you've always had those types of vibes and kind of nuances in your music too, like you kind of have these little like hippie vibes
yeah,
as well. Like, yeah, gangster, but kind of hippie too, because your
right.
karma, like that identity of like karma, yeah, you know, if you're even thinking in terms of karma,
Oh yeah,
then that's probably a good thing.
right. And
Like if you're trying to
the
think like, yeah,
vision of
cause and effect, you
right.
know.
Right. My vision of karma, who I used to be when I first came out in music, was karma. And I just thought, oh, I'm going to bring you karma. Or,
Yeah, right. Like I'm here to serve you.
yeah, I'm here to serve you karma. But
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, through my growth, I'm living the karma that I dealt myself.
Yeah.
I was able to see the real vision of karma and what actually karma is, and
Mhm.
respectfully taking it and respectfully going through that. But
I
karma
was
has its
oblivious for so long. I would live like I would be like, yeah, karma, karma,
yeah,
and just be reckless.
right,
Think it would never catch up to me.
and it does
And yeah, I did.
in weird ways too. You're like, oh man, that was totally my karma.
I
I
know. I
can't.
was like, it happened in such a manner that was like, you just knew. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Everything that I said I would never do or never be or never see or have to go through, please believe the universe brought it to me so I can actually have empathy instead of sympathy. No sympathy, because that's my slogan, no sympathy. But now I have
Mhm.
empathy for a lot of the things that I said I would never have to face,
Mm.
uh, because I'm better than, or I would never have to. Um, and then the universe is like, well, be careful what you say. Really, our mind is such a powerful thing. Even
Mhm.
what we think, I mean, manifestations are real, you know?
Yeah, and that see, especially when you become aware of it, and you've always, since I've known you, been aware of that.
Right.
Like just focus your attentions or your thoughts, and you make stuff happen.
Right.
And I guess it's like when you start to make things happen with a different like intentions, it feels pretty good when you're like, hey, I'm
It
doing
does.
some good out here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just and it's down to small things and to big things. Like one morning, I told my daughter, "I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to get you boots." And why at the office when I go there, there's 3 pairs of new boots, and I'm
Mm,
like, whoa, that's wild. Up to me knowing that I'm gonna get a better car and holding out for that better car and envisioning myself in the car that I want. And the only thing different about my vision is that the car that I got now is blue instead of the one I thought was going to be black.
right,
Um,
yeah.
that is just, it's so major. Um, it's a major life change, and
And like you
it's
say, when your vibration is like raised from not constantly poisoning yourself, then I feel like the manifestations happen faster.
They do. They really do. Anything that you envision really comes to light. And it doesn't matter if it's a positive thing or a negative thing. But negative thoughts
Yeah.
obviously lower your vibration. But it's just I don't even know how to explain it. And I'm not able to express it right now. So I guess it's just not supposed to be said.
Yeah. Well, one day I want to make a project, like a crossroads project, and I'd like to collaborate with more people on it, and even help you with other future projects. Because what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to do stuff about the recovery
Yeah.
stuff where it's like, hey man, like I'm just, and that's how you can kind of still tell your stories about, yo, this used to be my life.
Hmm.
And so you can throw in those cool lyrics of like people when they're like, I want to hear that gangster shit.
Right.
When it's like, okay, here's a little like story about how I used to live like this and now I don't,
Right.
and this is why.
Yeah. Yeah. I still feel gangster as fuck. Like, I
Yeah, I
don't
mean, I don't think you're gonna be able to shake it out of you,
know.
the
You can't
gangster.
shake
It's just like
it.
something
No.
that's always.
I
Plus,
just
you
keep it
got
gangster. I was never
tattoos all
cool.
over. Where did Tatt2Femm? Was it just people just call you Tatt2Femm or what?
So that name came from my cousin, Tatt2Femm. There's this party line, and that's in California, and you can choose to talk to. It's my lesbian name, basically.
Hmm.
My cousin gave it
Nice.
to me. So I was coming out. She's like, "You need a cool name." She's like, "You're tattoo. You have tattoos, and you're a femme because there's different categories of different lesbians, right?" And so femme is the one I am. I'm girly, but you can't tell I'm lesbian. So tattoo femme is where
Oh,
that
geez,
came
I
from.
didn't even know there are all these categories. I need to get
There's
like.
categories. There's categories. I'm learning the new categories and I'm not up to
Oh,
date.
I bet, yeah. And that's like the things I always try to keep in mind with when I'm getting a community center because I don't discriminate towards
No.
anybody or whatever your belief, race,
Preferences.
orientation,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. We don't.
And I do believe in second chances or that people can change. I do believe that people can change.
I believe it too. I
Um,
believe a lot of people want to change. They just don't know how.
mm,
And a lot of the people that keep up with me on Facebook and the ones that I was really trying to encourage to do this cipher, I feel like they're still hurting, they're still suffering in addiction, and they they don't know how to get pulled out. Well, to express yourself through lyrics is a great way to pull them out.
oh
What
yeah,
you're doing is amazing.
and you can connect with people that like can relate with you. So it
Hmm.
feels like you got some. You're not in it alone. There's people out there,
Right.
and yeah, I'll be still pushing this. I guess it was in like the last month I started the Cipher project, but I'll still be doing these things through the next year and everything, and eventually it'll be like the whole nation,
Yeah.
is the goal to connect with people through all these places. But again, it's like I've had to change my perspective on things where it's like I've been so egotistic in the past or focused on, you know, the things that maybe sometimes people are like, oh, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. you know,
Right.
you get caught up in the fame or the money or the clout or the just, I don't know,
Everything.
all that stuff.
The ego
The
just
ego.
becomes so big and your
The ego gets
chakras
so hungry,
all.
it's like, I'll just eat it all up. I'll
Oh
consume,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, my ego is still there, and it's so funny when my ego pops out during things, and I hear it, and I feel it, and I feel like I'm gonna react with my ego
Mm.
side, and that's because your ego is trying to protect you, it's trying to keep that layer and that mask on, and I just kind of tell my ego, like, thank you, I appreciate you for what you are and who you are as my ego
Mm.
side, but I'm just gonna need you to sit down for a second, just like
Yeah,
chill
true
out.
that.
When I need you, please believe I will call on you. And it's just a protective mechanism that we've built and we've allowed to grow, and it really just takes over your whole alignment, and you don't realize it that you're just protecting yourself when your ego comes out.
Dang, you giving me the I don't know if it's the green sweater or something, but you're making me think of the like you're like the Oracle in the Matrix. Have you ever seen that?
Oh, cool. Yes.
Yeah, but
Uh,
she was smoking cigarettes like
right. Yeah.
yeah,
I quit
she
smoking
never
cigarettes
stopped.
too.
Oh God, they were so hard to quit. Like I quit so
Ah,
many times,
right?
and they were like,
They're hard. I do vape now, but that's minimal compared to the cigarettes that
oh
I
yeah,
was
for
smoking.
sure.
And what's
Yeah,
funny is
because
I
the cigarettes have like 1,000 chemicals in them or something,
right,
and then at least nicotine vapes, it's just nicotine. Pretty sure they don't
right,
have like another. I don't know. I'm not really a scientist, but yes,
right.
those small any changes from what I've learned, if anybody's out there trying to make changes, like taking it little steps at a time does help.
Little steps at a time. As soon as you complete that little step, they might start getting big. Your steps might get wider, but it'll present itself when you're ready, for sure. You know, just like little steps. I changed the word, instead of saying but, I say and instead of
Mm,
that. So that, because but usually comes with the negative rebuttal, and you're just kind of minimizing the good
right.
part of that thought. Um, just waking up and just saying thank you, just opening your eyes and saying thank you, or just put a smile on your face, even if it's not real. Eventually, it'll become real.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
yeah, little things, little changes. High fiving yourself in the mirror. These are little things that I just do now.
Mm,
Um,
yeah, as
and you feel really like, I'm not gonna
I'll give
high
you a high
five myself.
five.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, you feel really silly giving yourself a high five in the mirror, but eventually it'll start feeling okay. You know, the person I see in the mirror now, and I could look at myself in the eyes, is totally different than I never was able to look at myself in the eyes in the mirror. But today I can.
That's awesome. Yeah, sometimes I would not. I'd look in the mirror sometimes and I'd be messed up, and I do not know what the heck I was seeing in the mirror. It'd be like looking pretty evil sometimes, or looking pretty good, I think.
Right, right. We
But
think
no,
we look good.
when I would be like really lit or something and on one, and
Mhm.
then you just like face yourself in the mirror and you kind of your window to the soul or something, and you're like,
Right.
oh no, what am I? I'd lose my soul sometimes, and I have to go
Mhm.
soul searching, be like, who am I? I've lost myself, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing you say that, because I was on that I-15 road, and I had a big aha moment, a big epiphany, where I spoke to my soul. I spoke to my higher self, and my higher self was about to detach, because trauma, your higher self detaches every time, because it's trying not to, because it can't deal with the human aspects of what we go through.
Mm,
And my higher self just told me, you scared me. I was not going to come back.
mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to be, I wasn't going to come back. And I was able to connect again with myself. And I guess that's what soul searching would be, was to talk to your higher self, and to reconnect and ground yourself in a way where you become attached again. And it was an
Yeah.
amazing.
Well, yeah, because I don't know when I'd be like wrestling with demons, inner
Hmm.
demons,
It's a
with
thin line.
yeah, and I'm just like also partying with my demons because I became like friends with them, and I was like, dude, I love these guys. They're my
Yeah.
buddies.
Yeah. They're cool.
They're like I don't even care. I could hang out with nobody, just myself and my own personal demons, and have a party.
Hmm.
And just it wasn't really that good of a party, you know.
Yeah.
In my
It
head,
felt
it
good.
was,
Yeah.
and but yeah, I'm super stoked that you have gone through these transformations and changes. I'm super stoked you did the collaboration, and I can't wait to work together more in real life again.
Right.
When
Yeah. That'd be nice.
yeah, when the times line up, and um, again, I guess it kind of comes with that. I don't know. We used to both be pretty active in the community, doing shows and stuff. Have you been doing shows?
I just did that coast to coast live show in California,
Oh, in Los
which,
Angeles, or
yep, in Los
nice.
Angeles, and I placed fourth out of 16, and that got me to the next round. So that'll be in November
Oh,
of,
really? So now you
yeah.
got something else coming up?
Nothing set right now. Nope. And I really want to expand what kind of music I want to present. I don't have a lineup of music at this point. I just found a reliable studio that I can go to on the regular basis. So that's really going to expand my music.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'll keep you in tune with my plans for this community center because that's the goal is to be like, yo, we're just gonna establish the music and video studio here with the stage
Yeah.
and then just like the hangout and stuff like that there. So
Yeah.
I've tried,
I've had this vision
we've
for a
done the
long time.
home studio stuff, but I didn't think that the public would really use a public studio that much. Plus, I was also partying.
Right.
Now I'm like, well, if I'm a little more family friendly and like
Mhm.
open to the public and being like, look, I'm changed now. I'm like not the wild crazy person I used to be.
Yeah.
Then you know, maybe the society would believe a little more in the cuz hip hop in Montana.
Right.
It's a little we're underground.
Right. It's
The
a lot of party.
counterculture.
It is a lot. And I can't wait to see where your vision goes. You've been holding it for a long time, and I know that with your growth, then your vision will start to take form. And um, side note, I've been in a grant writing class, so if you need help with that,
Oh,
you can,
you
yeah,
that's yeah, that's it. That's
I took a grant writing
you
class.
really are?
Yeah.
See, this is the
Oh, my daughter just got
manifestation and
home.
like when I meditate or like pray and I'm like these are my plans. Well, I'll get back to these plans with you since your baby's home and I'm
Yes,
stoked. Thank you
me
for dropping
too.
the little side note with the
Thank
grant.
you. You're welcome. You're
I'll
welcome.
put all your links
Come
below
in,
for people to connect with you
please. Put my
and
links.
yeah, we'll do it again sometime.
Yes, let's
Eventually, we'll
do
do it
that.
in person.
That sounds great, Jake. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Much love to you and your baby,
Yes.
and I wish, all the
Yeah.
best for you. Happy holidays and, Merry Christmas
Happy
or
holidays.
whatever. All right. Well,
Okay, Jake.
have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right, bye.